Hello, Internet. We're back here on the not blockbuster category of box office predictions. And yes, so we're in the third week of May. And we have a sequel on our hands. Yes. And it's the sequel to A Dog's Purpose, A Dog's Journey. The original came out in January, got a lot of controversy because of, there was some accusations of animal abuse on the set. Those turned out to be false. It wasn't exactly the best look, but it did pretty well at the box office, particularly in China, which I find interesting. So 2 years later, we got ourselves a sequel. So what are its pros and cons? Its pros, it's a movie about dogs. Who doesn't like dogs? Except people who, have allergies or have been attacked. But other than that, dogs are generally a appealing subject, for movies. I mean, how many dog characters do you know? You can leave some in the comments if you want. Because, you got, there are classics like Scooby-Doo. There's Marley and Me, which was the most tragic dog movie of all time. I'm trying to think. There was the dog from I Am Legend, Sam. When that dog died, oh man, that was sad. That was so tragic. So yeah, dogs are very popular. And I guess for people who don't really want to see movies with big special effects like Pikachu, or a lot of hard-hitting action like John Wick, they want a quieter movie, a more peaceful movie, then this would be a decent choice. But let's go over its cons. It's opening 1 week after Detective Pikachu and 1 week before Aladdin, so it's basically sandwiched into in between two more appealing movies. So that's really gonna hurt. And I'm not sure if this would qualify as a pro or a con, but this movie does lack that controversy, because everyone knows when a movie has controversy, more people know about it, right? It gets more attention, and this movie lacks said attention, which is in one way that's good, because no movie wants to be associated with animal abuse, but at the same time, the buzz is much quieter compared to the first film. And we already had a dog, not to mention, we already had a dog movie earlier this year, A Dog's Way Home, a movie that was infamous for having a trailer that literally spoiled the entire film. So, and some people might confuse the two. They'd be like, wait a minute, didn't I see this already? So, even though they're two completely different dogs, and really completely different stories, because, and The Dog's Purpose and Journey, those movies, basically about a dog being reincarnated, while the other is just a dog, running away. So there is a difference, but still, people will generally confuse the two. So overall, this movie's not going to do great. It'll do fine for a low-budget film, but not good enough to really make much of a difference. So I think it'll open around 15. It'll make a bit less than the first. The first movie opened around 18. That was in January. So, and I think the movie will end at around 50. And I know you're probably noticing, Malik, most of your movies predictions have been around 15 to 50. Why is that? That's a general range for these type of movies. I don't really see any of these movies popping into the 20s, at least until later on, but not now, because they're so small and there's a lot more appealing options out there. But yeah, this movie will ultimately do fine. It'll probably do better overseas, particularly in China, but we'll see. So next up for the not blockbuster list, gosh, oh yeah, not to mention John Wick. That series is all about dogs. Forgot to mention that. So it is sort of brilliant that this movie is going up against John Wick 3. It's almost brilliant, but that's not going to make a lick of a difference. So next up we have, if I can remember what it was, The Sun Is Also a Star, I think. A movie I've never heard of in my life. We'll talk about that next. That's going to be a real short video. So make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment if you want to check out some other predictions. I left some playlists, the blockbusters and the not blockbusters, in case you were curious. And that is all. And I am out.